With films such as The House of the Devil and The Innkeepers, Ti West showcases his talent for blending atmospheric dread, slow-burning tension, and meticulous attention to detail with retro aesthetics. West's work often pays homage to the horror classics of the 1970s and the 1980s, reflecting on his deep appreciation for the genre's history. His ability to craft compelling narratives and memorable characters has earned him a dedicated following among horror aficionados. This reputation set the stage for his ambitious project, the X Trilogy, beginning with the critically acclaimed X, to the fantastical Technicolor nightmare of Pearl, and ending with this summer's Maxxxine. The first entry is a vibrant and thrilling entry into West's filmography, combining his signature tension with a more playful and exuberant tone. X is a fun and gripping homage to the grindhouse cinema, delivering both scares and a nostalgic celebration of horror's past. I'm Mike Conway for JoBlo Horror, and today we are heading back to the 1970s to see if this film has that X factor, today on Horror Party Movies. X follows burlesque owner Wayne, a man bursting with ambition and dreams of stardom who rounds up a group of young, energetic filmmakers to create a groundbreaking adult film called The Farmer's Daughters. With his girlfriend, the aspiring actress Maxxxine, set to star, Wayne is certain they'll be famous in no time. They head out to rent a guest house at a farm in rural Texas, which Wayne rented from a creepy old couple, Howard and Pearl. As soon as the cameras start rolling under the direction of the visionary and too good for this shit RJ, things take a bloody turn. As the night unfolds, the team realizes they're in for more than just a money shot. Will they make it through the night's spine-chilling surprises? So I pretty much already know what the old trusty party meter's gonna say, but for shits and giggles, let's slip it on in. Yep. According to my scale, X is guaranteed a good time. And who doesn't love a good old dirty picture with friends?
People's eyes are gonna pop out of their damn skulls when they see this.
And as always, I'm gonna make a drink to tie along with the movie, so let's hop back behind the bar and get right to it.
Before we continue with our video, here's a reminder to click the Store tab on any of our JoBlo channels and browse our collection of the latest and freshest designs in our merch store. Go get you some.
As with any game, there are basic rules you must follow or modify. For today's game, take a drink when people get it on. The alligator is shown, when Pearl dances, a classic song is heard, and finally, with any kill. If alcohol isn't your bag, there are plenty of other things to choose from. Cannabis is legal in your state. Delta 8, 9, 10, 11, whatever the hell number they're at now. Caffeine, hot sauce, anything. Just know your tolerance. This is supposed to be fun. We don't want to send you to the hospital. Basically, don't be a dumbass. Here, read this disclaimer if that helps. So, who survives and what will be left of them? Let's slip back behind the adults-only curtain and find out.
And it's about high time we cut to the chase and we give the people what they want to see.
The movie opens looking out onto a farm. The barn doors cleverly mask the frame to resemble a 4:3 aspect ratio that makes assholes like me annoyingly point this shit out to the people I watch it with. There's a little bit of murder on this farm and something wild is in the basement. What's in the basement? We'll find out after this feature-length flashback. We then cut to 24 hours earlier. Our story kicks off with Wayne, a charismatic burlesque owner and part-time Matthew McConaughey impersonator with plans to shake up the adult film industry. He's not dreaming, he's doing it, baby.
Don't need Hollywood. These type of pictures turn regular folks into stars. We're gonna do it all ourselves.
Wayne assembles a vibrant crew of young filmmakers and aspiring stars to create an ambitious adult film, The Farmer's Daughters. Leading the pack is his girlfriend Maxxxine, an aspiring actress with her sights set on stardom and her nose in the booger sugar. Maxxxine is determined to make a name for herself, believing this film will be her golden ticket. Joining them are the confident and sassy Bobby Lynn, her easygoing boyfriend Jackson, the idealistic and typical I went to film school RJ, and his cautious church mouse girlfriend Lorraine. The gang heads to a remote farmhouse in rural Texas, rented from the creepy yet seemingly harmless elderly couple, Howard and Pearl. Right off the bat, this place gives off major eerie vibes, especially with Howard's welcoming Texas greeting. Despite the creepy vibe, the crew presses on, determined to make their film. Pearl, feeling old and envious of the youthful crew, especially Maxxxine, starts watching them from the shadows. Her longing for the days of her youth and beauty turn her into a ticking time bomb. Pearl's suppressed desires and frustrations bubble to the surface. This voyeuristic behavior escalates when Pearl makes an unsettling advance towards Maxxxine, who recoils in shock and rejection. This moment of rejection becomes the catalyst of the violent events that follow. Her fixation on Maxxxine becomes dangerous as envy and bitterness takes hold. Howard, who initially appears as a frail and passive figure, is shown to be complicit in Pearl's violent tendencies. As night falls, Pearl's behavior shifts from sleazily unsettling to outright dangerous and horny. And soon, the filmmaker's dream of stardom quickly turns into a fight for survival. So, based on the opening, we pretty much already know that a lot of people aren't going to make it out alive in this flick. But before I get to the awesome kills, I want to talk just a minute about the show's star, Mia Goth. As Maxxxine, she brings intensity that really elevates the entire movie. The journey from an ambitious actress to a fierce survival is a challenging arc, but Goth handles it with such finesse. It's everything you could ask for and more in a final girl. But it's not just her portrayal as Maxxxine to which I sing her praises. It's also that of Pearl. Normally I allow myself just enough information in going into a movie. Just like when I first saw Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder under all those prosthetics, I had absolutely no idea Goth was also Pearl until the credits rolled. She adopts a hunched posture, shuffling walk, and tremulous gestures that make Pearl appear vulnerable yet unsettling. This physical transformation is complemented by her vocal performance, where she uses a raspy, quavering voice that adds to Pearl's believable, eerie presence.
Why should you get to have it all? What have you ever done except be a whore?
Okay.
It's really a masterclass in character acting and one that is truly heightened in the next chapter of the series. Praises for Goth aside, let's talk about the money shots of the film. The kills.
Fucking finally.
But before I get right into it, I should probably mention that this thing is going to be very spoiler heavy, even though the opening already promised that this is going to be a bloodbath. First, let's talk about RJ. After Bobby Lynn serenades not only her peers but also the audience with a touching cover of Landslide, Jenna Ortega's Lorraine speaks up and says she wants to be in the movie. Now, this is a no-go for RJ, but after some convincing from Wayne, he ends up filming his girlfriend have sex with a well-blessed Jackson. This devastates RJ, naturally, propelling him to leave the group and the picture. At this point on my first viewing, I had no idea where this story was heading. Hell, I was beginning to think that RJ was going to completely lose his shit and start targeting the entire film crew. That is until he comes across Pearl standing in his path. His attempt to abandon the shoot is cut short in the most brutal way possible. Pearl, feeling rejected and enraged, stops him in his tracks. Pearl's sudden and savage attack is both shocking and gruesome the way she repeatedly stabs RJ in the neck until his head completely falls off. Shit, it reminds me of a certain video that circulated the net in the early 2000s. If you know, you know. And what makes this scene elevated even more is the song Don't Fear the Reaper coming from the stereo. Hands down, this is the best kill in the movie, but that's not to downplay the rest of the kills. You also have Wayne headed to the barn to get literally nailed, fulfilling his promise foreshadowed earlier that the film will make eyes pop out of their heads. Bobby Lynn getting fed to the gator, which was also cleverly foreshadowed earlier on the sign of the burlesque building. Jackson Hole, that name, gets an actual hole in his chest via a shotgun blast. And Lorraine eventually meets her end by screaming her head off, even though she has been mostly quiet this entire film. Every single kill in this movie rocks so fucking hard, and that's due to not only the performances, but also the script. At one point in the movie, RJ says that it's possible to make a good, dirty movie, and that's exactly what Ty West did here. He took the formula of a good old-fashioned, dirty-as-hell slasher and elevated it, delivering well-thought-out characters, meticulous attention to detail, and perfect, pardon the pun, execution. Like I mentioned earlier, I had no idea where this is going other than the fact that almost everyone dies. There is also another moment in the film brought to us again by RJ where he says you can't change the story halfway through the film. X proves the contrary.
What about in Psycho? You love that movie.
Well, Psycho is a horror film.
Yes, the killers are the old folks, but their reasoning behind the mayhem is something I have never seen before in my horror watching years. Just fucking brilliant. And that's it. So, X came out at the beginning of 2022 where it had rave reviews, and then later that year had the surprise prequel with Pearl, which turned out to be my favorite movie of the year. Even though the latter is the better of the two, I still think that X is a great time with some friends where you can laugh and cheer and maybe even cringe a little bit. So if you haven't seen them, definitely check them out, and then support horror cinema even more by checking out Maxxxine. Until next time, guys, have a good one.